The experiment. A little bit of my background is colors are everywhere in life and affect how the mind thinks and acts. Colors also have strong effect on memory retention and reflexes, which contributes to advertisements and driving. So what is my statement of purpose? The purpose of this experiment is to determine whether certain colors affect a human's memory retention or reflexes using a computer program that I have designed. And the results of the experiment can affect real life, for example, traffic signs and advertisements. And my question would be what colors, like what specific colors actually affect reflexes and memory retention. My method, how I collected my data. All data is done on Excel and logged in a composition book, and a picture of the composition book is posted below. My hypothesis, if participants are tested on what colors affect their memory retention reflexes, then students will respond the fastest, higher hue, and the participant will remember the color with the higher hue better than other colors. My variables, independent, multiple colors, dependent, memory retention reflexes, and my control is the beginning of the experiment where the participant saw the stimulus of X instead of a color. Data collection. My data was done on Excel and it was logged in composition book and a picture is attached below. The data was first collected through the program that I created, then I manually typed it into Excel. My data collection. For the first part of my experiment, I tested the colors red, orange, yellow, purple, green, blue, and pink, and every single time that color would pop up on screen, the participant would hit the spacebar, and the graph shows the average reaction times to colors, average reaction times for the first part of the experiment, and all reaction times are recorded in milliseconds. Purple had the fastest reaction time here. And my control was also recorded, and that's when they would see an X on the screen and they would hit the space bar. That is just to ensure that the program is working and they are normal reflexes with when there's not a stimulus like red, orange, yellow, purple, green, blue, pink. The second part of my experiment is when these four colors were attached to a letter on the keyboard. In my chart was the average speed correct. So this is the reaction time to colors that were attached to a letter on the keyboard and when the participant got it correct. Yellow actually had the fastest reaction time here when it was correct. So my data analysis for the first part of my experiment, we see that purple had the fastest reaction time. So in the first part of the experiment, the program tested different colors and recorded their reaction times. The fastest reaction time was purple, and this was because of the RGB level. Purple is known to have a high concentration of blue and red. The other darker colors also had a high reaction of time because of the black screen behind the colors. So it's because of the contrast and that it's easier on the eye. Since the colors were darker, it was more relaxing in the eye and it caused participants to react faster to darker colors. So for my second part of my experiment, we see that pink had the lowest average speed correct and the lowest percent correct. So why this happened? And we also did a t-test to prove the pink actually had a significant, it was significant that the average speed correct is so high and that the percent correct is so low. So in the second part of the program, four colors were attached to a letter on the computer keyboard. Yellow was attached to W, gray was attached to S, red was attached to D, and pink was attached to A. Pink had the slowest reaction time here and the lowest percentage of correctness. Pink is an unusual color and many people did not react well to it. Yellow had the fastest reaction time and the highest percent correct. Yellow is a bright color and many people can memorize the letter to the color faster than a darker or average hue, according to this data. So what is my data conclusion? The hypothesis was rejected and was actually concluded that darker hues on black background had a faster reaction, but yellow had the fastest memory retention. So that part of my hypothesis was correct. The topic of colors affecting reflexes and memory retention affects the scope of psychology because it affects the advertisements and traffic signs. This is important for advertisements. For example, on a commercial, if it uses a black background and yellow hue for words, it could mean that person will likely memorize the product faster. This could be in use for traffic signs because driving involves a high amount of reflexes. A sign with black background and darker letters could cause faster reaction time from drivers.